I'm Hazel Poa. I'm the non-constituency Member of Parliament of Progress Singapore Party and at the same time also is Secretary General. In my private capacity, I run a private school and a few education centres. Minor things like, for example, my colleagues in PSP will demand that I be more forceful and yet not too aggressive, must be still gentle and womanly, and at the same time, apart from being logical, I also need to dress well and be presentable in camera. So these are things that I feel is not expected of men to the same extent. In fact, I'm of the view that women politicians have an advantage. And I say this because I have observed the statistics in GE 2020. When I look at the election results, looking at the male candidates and the female candidates, there's a very clear trend that female candidates have a much higher chances of success as compared to the male candidates. Speaking from the perspective of an opposition party, I have observed that women who join us tend to do so only with the support of their spouses and their family. Whereas there are quite a number of men who would actually join even when the spouses object to it. So what this means is that if you want to convince a man to join, you only have to convince him. But if you want to convince a woman to join, you have to convince her spouse and her whole family. So that makes it a lot more difficult and lowers the odds of success. I believe this could be because women tend to take a more collaborative stand in life and they would rather have consensus. So it is important that in whatever they do, they have the support of the people closest to them. My husband and I both entered politics more or less around the same time back in late 2000s. And we contested in the 2011 general election together. That was an experience that was really very taxing. You know, at the same time we were running our own business and we had young children then. How old were they? I think about 5 or 6 years old then. It really took a toll on us. So subsequently, when Dr. Tan started PSP and we wanted to help, we discussed amongst ourselves and decided that it would be too tiring for us both to join and contest in another GE together at that stage, and that it's better that one of us focus on our business and the other one join politics. I think that whether it is men or women, to choose politics, you really need to be passionate about it. Because from an opposition party perspective, it's not exactly a rewarding career. People who enter must go in with their eyes open that financially, not only is it not rewarding, it is very likely the opposite. I mean, we do see cases of previous opposition candidates being sued in courts, getting into bankruptcy. So all these are real risks that we have to take into account. So for you to enter, it must really be because you do it out of passion. You should take it slow and not rush in, especially into candidacy. Join first as volunteer to get a better feel of what politics is like, what a political party is like. I have observed that politics can be rather harsh on young people. They're supposed to make mistakes and then learn from it and become better and stronger. But if you're in politics and you're a public figure, any little mistake that you make gets magnified, is splashed on the papers, the whole country knows about it. That makes it very difficult for you to recover from it. So I would say that you should not become a candidate too young. Maybe in the late 30s or early 40s would be better.